Assalamu alaikum and welcome to today's Sufi teachings. The Sufi teaching series we call Community Connection occurs on the first Sunday of every month at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It is organized and underwritten by Sufi Center Minnesota with the intention of making the Sufi teachings of peace, love, mercy, justice, freedom, and beauty available to people everywhere. We acknowledge that the land Sufi Center is located on is the traditional and ancestral homeland of the Dakota and Mdewakanton tribes. Sufi Center Minnesota recognizes and respects the enduring relationship that exists between many indigenous peoples and their traditional homelands. We are excited and grateful to have Amany Shalaby and Mastura Debra Graugnard with us today. Amany Shalaby is an author, speaker, teacher, translator, interpreter, and chaplain. She is founder of Universal Chaplaincy, a member of the Association of Muslim Chaplains, and MWO's Hakima chaplain. Amany served for 12 years as interpreter and translator for Sidi Shaikh Muhammad Sa'id al-Jamal, who is the Imam for al-Masjid al-Aqsa and the head of the Sufi Council in Jerusalem for 30 years. She translated 20 books on Islamic spirituality written by the Sheikh. In her teachings, Amany integrates science, psychology, philosophy, spirituality, and clinical chaplaincy skills and experience. The foundation of her teaching is compassion, empathy, deep reflective listening, and facilitating a way for people to find meaning in life. Mastura Debra Graugnard is an author, speaker, teacher, intuitive healer, chaplain, founder of Community for Conscious Living, and host of Self-Care for the Soul podcast. Debra combines spiritual teachings, embodiment protocols, and holistic self-care practices to help people heal past pain and trauma, cultivate a healthy relationship with their bodies and the earth, align with their true passion and purpose, and awaken to their spiritual origin. She is especially passionate about helping people to be the change we wish to see in the world through realizing how our daily habits and beliefs impact and influence all that exists in this beautiful planet, so we can each make the choices that create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. And I'll just ask everyone to please mute yourself.
I'm pretty sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Amany and Mastura co-teach a monthly program called The Ocean of the Sound, the link to which is found in the show notes below. Their teaching today is Letters and Sounds as States of Consciousness. Amany and Mastura, welcome, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
So I think we're going to start with tuning our hearts with reciting Al-Fatiha, and then Mastura will start with her presentation. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Thank you, Amany. And thank you, Abdullah, Pat, and hello, everyone. Welcome. I see the faces and names on the screen of people that I haven't seen for some time and some that I do get to see. So it's good to see you. And thank you for being here. As I mentioned before, Abdullah Pat started the recording. This is my total geek zone. And this is a topic that I'm so ecstatically passionate about. I think I came onto the planet, you know how people say, you know, they come onto the planet with just a key question in mind. And I think I came onto the planet going, how did this creation come to be? How did how did all of this get created? Like, what is the meaning? And I know as a young child, you know, I kind of had a mind that was very much attuned to mathematics. Was my geek zone from, I think, preschool. And I literally used to walk around imagining that my fingers extended on and on into, you know, into space and into infinity, and my toenails, and I would walk around like this, you know, as a child, just wondering like what happens when they leave the earth, like the atmosphere. I didn't have the language for it, but I had the vision of it. And later when I got into college and I was in, you know, I was in a mathematics honors program, and I took an advanced non-Euclidean geometry class, excuse me for the terminology, but it talked about all the different types of concepts about how things, how you know, lines intersect in space or don't, as the case may be, depending on all these different. I was like, oh, so I was kind of born into this question of how is this universe structured? What is really, like, what brings it into existence and what holds it together? And interestingly, someone asked me just earlier today, she says, I hear you talk about this teachings of Ibn Arabi, because this is based on Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi's Cosmology of Sound and step levels of creation and how the creation was created. And our presentation today is the letters and sounds, right? The sounds that are represented by the letters of the Arabic alphabet and how they relate to our states of consciousness and how they can really help us to tune in and know ourselves. As it said, you know yourself to know your Lord. If you really want to know your source, you know yourself, and everything from everything in creation, all of the knowledge of everything in creation was breathed into the subtle body of the Adam Eve, which is each and every one of us, in each and every one of us. So it's very much related, and I'll get into that with a share. I'm going to share my screen and go to the slideshow. Here we go. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we're going to talk about the sounds. I call them the step levels of creation because Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi, this is based on his Cosmology of Sound, and he outlines the creation in 28 step levels in a very precise order. And as I said, these step levels, these 28 step levels correspond to the 28 letters of the Arabic alphabet. Every sound is a world unto itself. This is what he says about the sounds. There's a perfect order to everything in the universe, from when Allah said kun, which means be in English. But kun is a very special word. And if you have the Music of the Soul, Sidi has an appendix at the back of the Music of the Soul just about the word kun. When Allah said kun, the waves of sound manifest a creation. The sounds correspond to the letters of the Arabic alphabet, and the order of the sounds are contained within you very precisely, right? You have the ability to make these sounds within yourself. They're contained within you, and they are mirrored in perfect order along your vocal tract. And this is the order of the step levels of creation. So this is one of the signs, the ayat of Allah, that there's a saying, and I'll paraphrase it in English, that says to read, to know yourself, to know your Lord, to read the 3 books the book of the cosmos, the book of your body, and the book of the Quran. And the cosmos is like, the creation of the cosmos. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So it's all contained within you. And then I call the Quran is like the super secret decoder ring, because it's got all the messages and signs in there. And this is like where Amany is just a jewel. I mean, a gem, because she can tell us how like the Quran, the message from the Quran ties all of this together. And it's just absolutely fascinating, and more than we have time to get into in our hour today. But I want to just say your body is 75% water. And Rumi says, Jalaluddin Rumi says, these forms we seem to be are cups floating in an ocean of living consciousness. These forms we seem to be our bodies, are cups, open cups, floating in an ocean of living consciousness. And he says, we think we are these bodies, but what we are is ocean, too near to see, though we swim in it and drink it in. And he says, don't be the cup with the dry rim, or one who rides all night, never realizing the horse that carries him, the horse beneath his thighs, or the surge that carries him along. So we are in this ocean, and our bodies, 75% water, are ocean. And what happens when you bring sound into water? You actually get a physical representation of the waves that are traveling through this ocean that it looks like air that we can't see with our eyes, and even the vibrations that we can't necessarily hear with our ears. But we have the ability to, inshallah, with intention and deep prayer, and I think a deep like heart of yearning to really know like Allah and what is created and how it's how we can know it from within ourselves, to like go into, bring this resonance of the sound into the fluids of our bodies. And Abdullah Pat mentioned that I use embodiment protocols, embodiment practices to help us to tap into these sounds within our bodies, and just see through this vibration, right? Because everything is transmitted through waves. Waves have different frequencies and very special qualities that carry meaning. And everything in creation has a sound. And Sidi used to talk about, the sound of creation and of the animals and the insects and the birds and the trees and everything. It's like they sing their song, their Layla, their La ilaha illallah, everything in creation sings its song of praise to Allah. And inshallah, if we tap in, we can tap in and hear the songs. Everything is a sign, and everything is contained within us, right? So Allah salawat ta'ala breathed all of the knowledge of everything in creation into the subtle body of the Adam Eve. It is in you. It is in each one of us. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. So everything of creation is contained within you. Know yourself to know your Lord. So I want to play this clip. Amany and I did a summit a couple of years ago, and we interviewed a number of people. And this is a clip from Eric Winkle, and I think he does a really good job of explaining it. He's translating Muhyiddin Ibn Arabi's openings in Mecca, the Futuhat, and it's over 10,000 pages of translations that he's done of Ibn Arabi's teachings. And so I'll play this. Let me know if you can hear this.
So the biggest thing for Ibn Arabi about sound is he tells the story. He says the first letter and the first number is the one which has no second, and the one that has no second is the Aleph. and the Aleph has nothing that comes after her. And so the Aleph is there, and then he connects the Aleph to the Sir Muhammad, or to the Nur Muhammad, the light of Muhammad. And so this one is the non-manifest one that is outside of time. But when the Aleph comes into time, it comes in as an ah sound. And he says the ah sound, the hamza, the ah sound. And he says the ah sound, it was very interesting. The ah is a sigh. It's like ah. And what happens is that we hear that I am a treasure concealed, and I long to be recognized. So I create the treasure chest of humanity, and I teach them to recognize me, and they recognize me. So this is the sigh. I'm a treasure, and no one sees me, no one appreciates me, no one values me, no one knows I exist. And so that sigh is wet and vaporous, as Ibn Arabi says, and it creates the mist. And the mist is what is where everything takes place. And then in this mist, the first created being is the light of Muhammad. And when that light of Muhammad is created, he turns to where he came from and says, there's no reality but you. And she says, and you are the one who's conveying my reality. He says, La ilaha illallah, and she says, Muhammad Rasulullah. So this is the Aleph. And then when it comes into being, into the Mother Earth, into humanity, it comes as a Hamza. And so the first is that sigh. And then the next is an H, a Ha sound. And the last is the U sound. So it goes all the way through the body, makes all of the letters. And Ibn Arabi is so interesting here, because everything is Arabi, Arabi, Arabi. But he's not talking about Arabic. He's talking about the Arabi language, which is the Arabi Mubin, the language which makes things clear. So the biggest thing for Ibn
So this is the very first sound, is the Aleph sound. Now, I want to make a point that I'm just going to show you an overview of how this is mirrored in the body, because he mentioned how the Aleph is the first thing that comes through. It comes through like the back of the heart. And the ah sound, if you feel that is made in the center of your chest. And there is a silent breath that breathes you, right? There is the breath. The Aleph, the very first sound, is representative of the pen. You hear about the pen and the tablet. It is the first intellect, and there is no first, there is no last, and it contains everything of all of the knowledge of everything in creation. It pierces the veil with the silent Aleph, that silent breath of the silent Aleph. And when it comes into your body, it's like the breath that breathes you as it meets with your spine. And it has the Hamza on top. The Hamza, if you just think of the Aleph, along as that straight line along your spine. And then the Hamza is like your head, which contains all of your sensory organs, your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, your voice, right? Your ability to sense and perceive from the material realm. That's what gives it that sound, this is how it's reflected in your body, right? So this is talking about the Aleph as the first intellect that pierces this veil of this time-space reality of our creation. And with the sigh, as it makes the ah sound, as it comes in and makes the ah sound, it's wet and vaporous, and it creates what is called the tablet, right? The tablet upon which everything in creation will be broadcast, right? That this holographic realm that we're going to then play out this human existence and our reality here, or this imaginary reality that we're here to experience. And this is the tablet. So the first thing you've probably heard about the pen and the tablet. The tablet is the subtle H sound. I call it the ha sound as opposed to the ha sound. So it's the subtle H sound. And both of these are from the realm of the lahut. The pen and the tablet, it's the first intellect. And then the tablet is known as the universal soul. The universal soul. The first intellect is associated with the divine name al-Badiya, which is that which creates from nothing, that which creates from not. And then al-Ba'ith is the associated with the tablet, which is the awakener. So each, as he says, each one of these sounds is a world unto itself. And they associate with the four worlds that we've all come to know. They're mirrored along the vocal tract of the body, right? And if you go through the air, they're not in alphabetical order, they're in placement order. So I'm just going to show you this as just an overview so you get like an idea of, let me move this out of the way, an idea of what that looks like. It's more than we can go into in the time that I have allotted here, but I just want to give you a feel for it. So you have lahut is what comes in at the level of the heart. Then the malakut. The malakut is four sounds that are made in the chest above the heart and into the throat. And these four sounds are four sounds that are not contained in the English language, which I find interesting, that these are sounds that we don't have in the English language, but they are in the Arabic language. And then the jabarut is anything made along the upper palate, which has its own significance there, right? Because the upper palate resonates. One of the things that is significant about this, these are you know, the attributes of Allah, and it resonates. This vibrates this upper palate, and what sits just above the upper palate, your pineal gland and pituitary. And so you have and you'll notice as you make the sounds, if you know, like I said, too much to get into today, but they all resonate. They start from the very back of the throat with the qaf, the qaf, which is beginning. It starts with the throne of Allah, then the footstool, and then the creation of let's see, the throne and the footstool. And then really like getting into the starless sky, the zodiac, the archetypes, and then the fixed stars, which is that which is ordained, and then going into the seven heavens. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit too much into the weeds there, so let me stick to. And then these sounds that are made through the lips are from the mulk, which is our material realm, right? So I'll just kind of show this in the stages of creation, which is the pure mind of God, the vision and the plan for the reality. And then this is really the structure of the cosmos. Stage 2 is the structure of the cosmos. And then the celestial spheres or the seven heavens, the elements of the moving into the earth realm, and then the progeny, which is like our minerals, metals, plants, and animals. And then we're in the mulk realm, right? The angels and the jinn and the human beings. And then the very final stage, and Eric Winkle said the final thing is the ooh sound. So you go from that silent aleph coming through at the back of the heart, and then making the ah. And then each one of these moves up along the vocal tract. The very last one is the ooh. And the ooh is it represents, and there's just so much to this, it represents the pathway of, it's the spiraling. See how the wow here makes the spiral? It's the ever emanating spiraling journey of the human being. It's associated with the divine name Arafia al-Darajat, which is the elevator of degrees, which as we travel this ever emanating, ever spiraling earth journey, we are like cycling through our earth journey to like, inshallah, learn, grow, expand, become elevated, and become a clearer and clearer representative of spirit and form. This ooh sound is associated with, you know, the Fibonacci sequence, like the seashell, and it's associated with the signs of beauty in creation. Everything is mirrored there. So it's just there's so much incredible beauty to be explored through understanding as best we can, right? This is called the ocean with no shores, because I think, you know, think of it as dragging a toenail along the surface of the ocean, and there's so much more. Each one of these sounds is a world unto itself, because they've got its divine names, it's got its meanings, it's got its and angels that are associated in it, and its elements and everything that make up. Oh gosh, it's incredible. It's so much to know about what Allah created in this universe and what Allah put in you to know and understand this incredible nature of this realm that we live in and how to travel it, right? Because that's the other thing, what's really encoded in here is how to travel this world to understand all of these signs, to understand our journey here, and how to travel the earth journey, but also how to use this to understand and bridge between, if you can see my cursor here, between the earth realms and the cosmic dimensions and the pure mind of Allah. We have this whole pathway of travel here, which is the seven heavens, the celestial spheres. So as I mentioned, the 7 stages of creation, the pure mind of God, the structure of the cosmos, the celestial spheres, the elemental globes, the progeny or the offspring of Allah, the spirituals, the angels and the jinn, and then the human beings in our journey. All of this is encoded in that creation. And it not only tells us how Allah created from one layer to the next, it tells us how we can travel, in a sense, through our layers of consciousness, through our states and stations, how we can travel through these step levels of creation to really learn and to grow and to elevate our states of consciousness in our stations, inshallah. And so Amany is going to tell us more about that, but I just show you what I wrote here about the pathway of elevation. This is what I was referring to as that Fibonacci sequence that's found everywhere in nature. That is the ever emanating, ever growing, ever spiraling, ever expanding. Very mathematical, by the way. But the wow, you see the letter represented here of the wow. And this is like the signs that Allah gives us to understand and to grow and to know. And the signs are everywhere, everywhere. If you look, they're in the sounds, they're in everything in nature, they're in the body, they're in the cosmos, and of course the super secret decoder ring, the Quran. So Amany, I will turn it to you.
Thank you. Beautiful PowerPoint. I enjoyed it. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, it makes sense to I did have one final
you want to share it? What I thought?
just to wrap it up. It's very simple, inshallah. You think you are a small star when in fact you contain the whole universe. That's it. Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Mastura. So I'm going to build on what Mastura said and hopefully explain more and how it is related to our own states of consciousness. So first, we know that the Arabic letters are 28 and the elementary particles, which is the building block of the physical universe according to standard physics, are also 28. So that is not a coincidence, because both of them are also vibration. Sound is a vibration, and elementary particles, with the discovery of quantum physics, they found that it is also a wave. It behaves like a wave and like a particle, which means it has that vibrational nature as well. And both the Arabic letters and the elementary particles have numerical properties. Like, for example, Aleph has a numerical value of 1 and has other properties too. Similarly, every elementary particle have quantum numbers and properties as well. So you can see the similarities there. And then they both have what we call duality and complementarity. For example, the Arabic letters, some of them are kind of a strong, which they call them masculine in nature. Some other letters are feminine in nature. Some are hot, some are cold. They relate to the elements, right? So some of them are hot, cold, dry, or moist. Similarly, in physics, there is also duality between elementary particle, which are matter, and there is the antimatter. There is, for example, the electron, elementary particle, and there is the positron, the similar but opposite. So this duality also is a property of both. Then there is the way they manifest in reality. So the Sufis holds that letters are not just symbols, but they carry divine realities. Existence itself is Allah's speech, be and it is. So everything exists, carries this reality, and it has hidden spiritual force shaping the creation, as we will see a little later. And the elementary particles also in quantum physics, they have more probability waves, like, so they can manifest differently depending on the observation. And they both also share the way of how they interact with one another. Like the letters, they interact with one another in certain ways, depending on what we call grammar rules. Similarly, elementary particles connect together depending on the physical laws. So there is grammar laws, physical laws. Probably, are they the same? I propose they are the same, because everything has this divine signature. So they both also carry a mystery from the unseen, like the split letters that appear in the Holy Quran as initial letters. They carry a mystery. It makes people wonder why these specific letters are chosen, because they carry some mystery. And with quantum physics, we also know that elementary particles are mystical in a way. We don't know fully everything about them. We keep discovering. Similarly, with these split letters, or the letters in general, we continue to discover things about them. And in the Quran, for example, the letter Ha appears in key names, divine names, or qualities such as al-Haq, the truly real, the truth, al-Haq, and al-Hayy, the absolutely living. So this Ha carry qualities of truth in its vibration, and it also has the vital breath for life. So the breezy open sound of Ha also has been interpreted by spiritual teachers as an outward sigh or release, metaphorically suggesting cleansing breath. So when we do the dhikr, for example, and we say, Ya Haqq, or Haqq, or we say Hay means living. This Ha has a cleansing effect and makes us aware of our breath, and it comes from the depths to clean the falsehood. That's also setting the intention to clean falsehood from our minds and hearts and embrace the truth. So Ibn Arabi discusses how letters emerge from the breath of the all-merciful, the divine essence, which is called in Arabic Nafas al-Rahman. He often ties letter articulation to the cosmic manifestation, as Mastura pointed, and to breath as the medium through which divine realities are uttered into existence. Now things appear and disappear from the universe has invisible aspect, visible aspect, and quantum physics tells us that these elementary particles come from a wave of probability, right? They fluctuate in and out of existence as if there is an inhale and exhale. Inhale in the divine essence of singularity and oneness, and then manifesting in multiplicity of expressions. So the Sufi and esoteric traditions on letters and energy centers, the Shaziliya and the Naqshbandiya Sufi orders as well, they made a link between how we pronounce the letters and how it activates what we call the lata'if in Sufism, the subtle points on the body, or it can also be called the chakras in some other traditions. And then there is certain contemporary scholars that trying to build on that discovery and the hints of Ibn Arabi, is that they emphasize that each Quranic term or letter is not just conceptual, but it's experiential. It is something you can feel when you do the zikr, for example, to open your semantic field of consciousness. Another scholar, Sayyid Hussein Nasr, he particularly try to tie language, cosmology, sacred science, and the interconnectedness of it all, which I also try to do, because everything is interconnected. And he noticed that the Arabic language, also the Hebrew and the Sanskrit, is sacred languages because its phenomena and the script are divinely revealed. So this is shows their exceptional effect on the body and consciousness. So as Mastura pointed, there is when we make the sounds, it takes this journey in the vocal tract, and this journey resembles the level of creation in the cosmology, right? And this vibration of air, of the breath, it comes from something, resembles something else in the cosmology, because we are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So this is to show how the Sufis, such as the Naqshbandi, they have this system of 5 chakras. We also have the popular ones, the 7 chakras. And this is related to the point of articulation of sounds, but also of the nervous system, because the nervous system, it has electromagnetism, which has fields. These fields can take certain shapes and are these waves or vibration of electromagnetism of sound, as you pronounce it, can open these chakras. Like if you again say the ha sound, it kind of release, or the ah sound, or the ha sound. It's kind of have a releasing effect, which can open these chakras or return it to its original state. And so there is a relation between the point of articulation and the sound. I actually will skip this to give more examples, because Mastura also chose to talk about the wow, and I also will talk about it. So the wow is related, as Mastura said, to the name of Allah, the lifter of degrees, or the exalter. And it is related to the degree of the creation of humanity. Why? Because wow in Arabic language, it means and. So it is the connection between everything, the interconnection between everything. And this interconnection is giving to humanity more than any other creature, because how our brain is designed is to integrate everything. You can integrate knowledge about a creature, such as dog and cat, what they have similar and what they have different. So your brain can integrate science and spirituality, philosophy and art. You can actually unify everything. That is particular to the human being. And the more you're able to unify things, which is called Tawheed in Arabic language. Tawheed is believing that the creator is one and the creation is one and it's all interconnected. This unity of being is called Tawheed. And the human being, Tawheed does not mean unity, it means unifying. We're the ones who can unify everything to really know the singularity of the absolute being, the creator. And we know ourselves as integrated part of reality, of the cosmology also. And this wow, depending on its point of articulation, as Mastura was saying, it comes from a certain realm, malakut. Malakut means the subatomic angelic realm, where there is subtle body that takes forms, like in your imagination, for example. If the tree does not exist in your physical presence, you still can close your eyes and see a tree. And this tree carry an essence and the qualities. And that is, you see it with the eye of insight, the inner eye. And this inner eye can really discover the meaning and the qualities of the tree. And again, these Arabic letters, the 28, who are connected to the subatomic elementary particles, they are also connected to the 28 phases of the moon. And I'm just giving you headlines, but we go deep into that during the course. So some letters are considered waning or dark, and some are considered waxing, like the moon. And again, they are connected to the elements. So some have the nature of earth and cold, such as wow, and some may have another nature, like they are hot or moist and so forth. And as Mastura was pointing, when you look at the nature itself, you find the Fibonacci sequence, which is the sequence of preparation and beauty. You find it resembles actually how the letter wow looks like. Like here, I turned it upside down to show how it looks like the wow. So there is the Fibonacci sequence and the reverse of the Fibonacci sequence as well. And this exists in everything in nature. As you see, actually, when the planets have this while forming, it's their optimum arrangement. Scientists and mathematicians found that is the optimist arrangement for growth and thriving. And that exists also in our body. how everything is proportioned together. It's called the golden ratio. The Fibonacci sequence have a golden ratio between your how your eye, nose, mouth, arm, and feet. Even your inner organ too has this Fibonacci sequence. How the heart has it, the brain has it, everything has this. And so this is the wow. When you see it's how everything is proportioned with beauty, then the heart and the mind, and this is more the invisible aspect of ourselves, is also capable of having this optimum beauty for growth and thriving, spiritually speaking, and for doing the appropriate thing in the appropriate time and place and situation. And that's what we call wisdom, that is based on knowledge and guidance and so forth. So this vibration is the highest potential, the highest degree. We were talking about Rafi' al-Darajat. Allah is the one who helps us be raised in degrees of awareness and degrees of beauty. The more you're aware and awake and enlightened and in alignment with the unity, the more you'll be capable of embracing that beauty and acting in a beautiful way, in a proportional way that is the most effective for not only your own growth and thrive, but also for the creation around you. So when we, for example, if I go back, when we do the zikr with one of the names of Allah, such as Al-Wahhab, that has the wow sound, and Al-Wahhab means the grantor of gifts. If we are aware of these concepts and we're asking Al-Wahhab to give us the gift of putting things in proportion and in beautifying our intentions, our thoughts, our qualities, our actions, and our understanding. So this is when we start to say the sound with awareness and presence of its meaning and its effect, and we start to feel its effect in our body, as Mastura was saying. So wow, again, to summarize, it's about connection, unity, and beauty, and the human degree of awareness. It's a letter, again, that means and in Arabic, and it's about interconnectedness of everything. It is a state of introspection then. When you are, because it's like an embrace also, that's what it means in Arabic. It's an embrace. Dhamma means when you prolong it, it means an embrace and drawing inwardly. So when you are contemplating on the wow, even in its shape or its pronunciation, its meaning, and when you do it with the dhikr, you are in a state of deep introspection and embracing the truth, embracing the beauty, embracing the possibilities and the subtleties, and embracing your receptive self. It represents the movement of consciousness. It's like a spiral again, that is aware of the other, because you and me. So it is not, it's more aware of the law of unity, while maintaining its root in the real, in the truth. And so this is, its highest degree is what we call in Sufism, al-insan al-kamil, the human being who feels whole and fulfills her purpose. So how can I meditate or be aware of that vibration, that beauty? For example, there is a visual meditation. You know, calligraphy is really a meditation in nature, meditative. And when the calligrapher do the wow in a very specific way, they are actually bringing themselves to stillness, but also to connect to the beauty, to the cosmology of that vibration as they are drawing it or looking at it. That's why when you look at calligraphy, you're moved spiritually. It takes you to that infinity. Let it curve, draw you inward and feel its embrace. Reflect what in my life needs reconnection. What have I separated that needs unity? What relationships that I need to reconcile, and so forth. When talking about sound meditation, we can chant softly the sound wow. We even say it when we see something beautiful in English, like wow. Or we can actually do the zikr of ooh, and prolonging the ooh sound, the ooh. This is the wow sound in Arabic. When you elongate that vowel, you're actually embracing this beauty and these subtleties and this interconnectedness, this unity of everything. Feel its resonance in your chest and in your throat as you say it. Whenever you find it in one of the names of Allah, when you do the zikr, prolong it. When it is prolonged, you feel it more. Let it echo like a return. With each repetition, become aware of how sound unites breath, body, and meaning. It's your breath that you exhale and inhale, you're connecting you to the world, right? So it requires also doing it with presence and contemplation, what we call tafakkur in Sufism, to reflect on moments when you acted as a conductor. You become the wow. You become the Fibonacci sequence. You become the wow, the golden ratio that connect things together, connect people together, as Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Jesus said, what it is called in English, like blessed are the peacemakers, the connectors, the ones who connect rather than separate, right? And you are capable of connecting between people, ideas, feelings, concepts. You have that capacity. So ask Allah, how can I become a wow in my relationships, in my thoughts, and my remembrance of the divine? I'm going to take one more example, then we can be open for a little bit of questions, then we will do the zikr. Ain, in Arabic language, it means an eye, but it can also mean a fountain of water, a spring of water. And it is said it comes from the name of Allah, the hidden, al-Batin. It comes from the Malakut. It represents nature, the laws of nature, the invisible nature, the sacred geometry and math in nature. And it is have a waxing effect like light. It's luminous, it's water, it's moist. So now if you look at this spring or the mouth of the spring, it looks like the Ain as well. And it is even looked like the womb. So it's about something invisible because the womb is invisible. And the womb, you can see the essence of mercy. You can see Allah as the provider who provide everything for the embryo. And so this helps us know the vibration of Ain or the meaning of Ain. So the Ain is the inner eye of perception and to have a vision. In creation, the eye representing inner vision and the spiritual perception. It is a station of deep insight where a person moves beyond external appearances and perceives the inner essence of reality. In psychology and the spiritual meaning, Ain is the state of deep realization, where one begins to see the hidden connection in life. It represents the activation of inner awareness akin to intuition, inspiration, or sudden enlightenment, what we call fath in Sufism. Ain is the eye of the heart, the basira, we call it, the insight, enabling gnosis, which is direct ma'rifah, direct knowledge of reality and of Allah, the truly real. It has a parallel in modern thought, but I'm not going to go through all of that for the sake of time. But how can you contemplate on this vibration of Ain? You can close your eyes and imagine an inner eye opening, or this spring of Ain gushing forth from within you. You can have that visualization to aid you. Or you can pose a question to Allah and ask, what I am not seeing clearly in my life now. You can also observe an inner message, symbol, or vision, sensation, or feeling that may arise inside of you with the eye of your soul, the eye of your mind. So this is the Ain. So whenever you are pronouncing or doing dhikr of one of the names of Allah of Ain, like Al-Aziz, Al-Aziz, sometimes translated as the Almighty, I like to translate it as the invaluable beloved. So whenever you're emphasizing Al-Aziz, Al-Aziz, and you prolong the other letter of Ya, when you're pronouncing this and you know the meaning of Ain, you're trying to tune yourself with this vision of the invaluable love and beloved that is available for you, and with all of its vision for you, possibilities for you, for the world, for solutions to problems, for resourcefulness, or for strength to achieve it also. So this kind of tuning to the meaning and understanding it can aid us when we do our dhikr practice with sound or visualization that can aid our meditation and with our introspection and our receptivity of what we can receive through it. So I'm going to stop here. So we ended on time. We're good, Abdullah. And if people are okay, and you're okay, we can take a couple of questions. I'm sure people have questions.
You know what occurred to me, Amany and Mastura, is doing show production in real time here. I didn't talk to you guys about it, but instead of doing a traditional dhikr, which is what we were going to do, what if you guys led us in a dhikr using what you've just taught about? Would you be open to that? Do you want to do that?
Yes, inshallah.
Mastura, is that okay with you?
Alhamdulillah, yes.
So let's do this. We'll keep it rolling. And you can either do questions in dhikr or dhikr and questions, whatever you choose to do, but the show's yours from here to the end. So, but I think it'd be wonderful to have an experiential of what you've been guiding us through. I think that'd be really, really nice for folks.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. Can I make a comment about about Amany's teaching?
You could say anything you want, Mr.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, because what I just find fascinating, okay, I mentioned the Aleph and the Ha as the pen and the tablet. So it's the first intellect which pierces the veil of this existence and creates the mist, which is the universal soul upon which everything of the first intellect is recorded, right? The pen writes, the tablet records. And so this is like the vision and the plan and the inspiration of Allah's creation right there. And then the third is the Ain, which Amany just spoke about, which is the the creation of all of the laws of nature that are hidden, the hidden laws of nature that govern everything in existence. So it is like all of the sciences, that which we know about and that which we have not discovered yet, but all of the sciences, all of everything, all of the laws of nature are established in that world of the Ein. And then the Ha, which she also spoke about, is the fourth layer, which is the creation of the particles. That which are also the waves, which then are like the building blocks of everything in creation. Everything is made. So, and everything is made from the plasma, the dust, the cosmic dust, the particles, the stardust, and it's governed. How it comes together is governed by the laws of nature. So that's the very beginning of the pure mind of Allah, that first stage of the creation of how it comes together, right? And so anyway, I just wanted to bring that together because I find it fascinating.
As you see, like we look, and that's how we teach it together, because Mastura's angle of looking into it is the level of the cosmological creation, right? And I do that too a little bit, but then I try to relate it to our being, and how can we cultivate that. And then Mastura takes us into also meditation and deep dive and try to make us feel it in the body. So we both kind of complete one another.
We layer each other. Yes. Alhamdulillah. And I want to say also that you don't have to understand complex mathematics or quantum physics or any of that in order to have to just marvel at, as this is known as by the scholars, the ocean with no shores. And there's so much in every world of every sound that is, it's beyond what anybody can get. You know what I'm saying? It would we're never going to know it all, but we take what, just like I always say, I'm still on chapter 1 of Music of the Soul, because every time I read it, I get something different out of it, and so it's like you take what is revealed to you in that moment, and then you just dive with it. Like, okay, here's my little portal to dive into the ocean today and explore. And then you just approach it like it's a book that you've never read before. You kind of have an idea of, the title and what you might be getting into, but you're not really sure what's going to be written on the page. So you approach it with that, just that awe and wonder and inquiry of what am I going to learn when I dive into this vibration of ocean today.
Mm-hmm. So as experiential,
I'll let you lead the experience.
I'm going to, what came to my heart is to lead an invocation about the name of Allah, Ash-Shakur, which is about gratitude and thankfulness. And I can walk you quickly through the sounds, and I think that may give you a little bit more of experiential. Then you can come with the question, if the question comes. Inshallah, if the question comes. So let us start.
And I will want to add
as you all know, we usually start with yeah. And yeah, this sound is a calling. So if I call yeah, Mastura, in Arabic I will say, yeah, Mastura, come. So Mastura comes to my present because I called her. So when you say yeah, so whatever you're calling for would be present, right? And then the sheen, Ya Shakur, we're calling Allah Ya Shakur, oh appreciative one, oh thankful one, oh one who grants gratitude. So the sheen in the science of sound is the propagation. Is something that spreads and propagates. So when you pronounce the sheen, imagine that all of the blessing you already received and all the blessing you may receive and it may spread and propagate within you and all around you. And then the kaf is more with this subtle veil, because it's in the word kun in Arabic, be. So the kaf is seen as a subtle veil between the visible and the invisible. So between non-being and being. So when you saying ash-shakur, you are piercing through the unseen. You're piercing to receive from the essence of Allah, from the essence of the Creator. You are piercing to receive that sense of being blessed, being in bliss, and then the wow comes, this spiral Fibonacci sequence, which we will prolong, that it will increase your sense of beauty, how you see beauty in the world, in yourself, and how it will increase your awareness of beauty and your awareness of the unity and the interconnectedness, and your awareness of the proportion of how you need to interact, how to interact in proportional with proportional wisdom. And then the ra at the end, this sound of movement. So everything you receive is moving into you, and it will move out of you after you finish the dhikr. So, yeah, you wanted to add something, Mastura, before we start?
Of course. And the shakur it actually governs the step level of creation, that is the creation of the footstool. And so from the creation, a few step levels down, there's the creation of the universal body. So there's the universal soul, which is the tablet, and then there's a creation of the universal body. Within the universal body is the footstool of Allah. Mirrored in the physical body of the human being is the footstool of Allah. I mean, I'm sorry, is it the footstool or the yes, I believe it is the footstool. So the footstool, yes. Where am I? Yeah, it is the footstool. So, I mean, it's the throne of Allah. So it's from the throne of Allah, and from the throne of Allah, the next is the footstool. The throne of Allah is the heart, at the heart of the human being. So it's talk for Allah. I got a little confused there. The throne of Allah is the heart of the human being. That is it's in the universal body, and it's in the body of the human being. And then the footstool is that first place of where we start to go from one and only one to a duality, an inner and an outer. And that ash-shakur governs that as a recognition of the pure compassion that is contained in the unity and in the duality. That we have this moving from from the throne to the footstool, from the one and only one to this realm of duality. That ash-shakur is the gratitude for the experience of the everything in the unity, and that the realm of getting to see the contrasts, getting to and find the unity within the contrast, and discover that even in the contrasts, that is held in the unity.
So ash-shakur, so you need to be grateful. When we talk about the duality, there is the giver, the receiver. Whether you are in a position to receive, you're grateful that people are coming to help you, giving you love, giving you compassion, whatever they are giving you. You're grateful for receiving. You're also grateful for giving, because you're giving gifts, whether it's your wealth or your knowledge or your time or your compassion, and you're giving from that gift. You're grateful to have these gifts to give. So that is about gratitude. You're grateful for everything. You're grateful for the jalal and the jamal, for the beauty, for the majestic qualities, and for the beautiful, gentle qualities. So you are grateful for the duality that may appear in the universe, because again, it all comes from a singularity of one source. So let us try to just, if you can feel, to close your eyes and to just drop in your heart, take a deep breath. First, I will ask for protection. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا شكور يا شكور يا شكور يا شكور يا شكور يا شكور شكور Shakur. Mastura, if you want to share dhikr.
I was enjoying continuing with the who.
Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. Who. You continue with that who recitation. I invite you to just notice how the H sound is from the center of the chest and the U sound is through the lips. So that moves through your entire vocal tract from the heart. So it's traveling through the realms from the Lahut, the Malakut, the Jabarut, and the Mulk, through all of the layers and all of the levels of creation. Oh. Oh. And if you can just imagine that resonance rippling through the fluids of your body, and just ask like reading the book and you don't know what's written on the page. As those pages, as the fluids of your body are, the sound waves ripple through, just ask, is there what inshallah wants to be revealed? Or if you're guided to tune into a certain place in your body and bring your breath and sound into that space, you can let your body move with it. If there's something that wants to unravel, to open, for you to experience, for you to see, for you to read from your own book. And let the sound, you can elongate the sounds and let them ripple through your physical body, through the fluids. Your body is an ocean. These cups we seem to be, or these bodies we seem to be, are cups floating in an ocean of living consciousness. So let your body be the open cup floating in the ocean. And let the ripples move through you. And just awaken whatever wants to be revealed to you in this moment. Ooh. 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 Another thing, I think in our English language, we have a tendency to vocalize all of our sounds from the mouth. So let yourself feel how your whole body can get involved as an instrument in producing the sound.
all the way from your belly and through your diaphragm and through your chest and through your vocal cords and in through your mouth and your lips. Let the whole body participate in the production of the sound, the articulation of the sound, the movement of the air and the vibrations through your whole body. Ooh. 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 Allahu Akbar.
Actually, see a question on the chat. Some beloved asked, how do we embrace and see unity with those we experience as false or with harsh qualities? So again, you know, the Fibonacci sequence is about the optimum proportion. So proportion is very important. So there is no cookie cutter answer that we all are going to follow, because everyone's lessons is different, but everyone can use their skills, their talents, their alignment with Allah, their creativity to address that perception or that harsh qualities that we see in people or in the world by knowing your own proportional actions that you should take. So first, when you sit for the meditation, you ask Allah which the truth that you want me to impress, right? And then everything is proportional. So for example, you can first try with gentle giving the love and the gentle forgiveness, depending on how harsh it is. Then you can move to the higher proportion by being vocal about it, by addressing it, by being firm, by being creative in how you will help the person who is harsh see that this harshness is not serving them or serving the people around them. There is also sometimes some of us may need to learn to know how to set boundaries or to withdraw. There is also proportional can intensify if someone is in a danger situation with severe harshness. They have at this point to optimize their safety by protecting themselves or defending themselves. So it is like depending in the situation you're asking about and the degree or the level of harshness and your own personal skills and levels of awareness. So again, when you invoke Allah with one of his beautiful names, qualities, and you ask to serve these names, you're asking for these names to transform you, and you become the embodiment of this quality or this, then manifest it in the world. So it's particular to you. So some people, maybe their solution or their inspiration that comes from Allah is to run for office, to create change for things we see in society. Some inspiration will be to educate and bring awareness and teach. Some, their inspiration could be to do art, to help open people's hearts, because art is universal language. So each one of us can get something. And depending again on the situation, on the person, if it is a social issue, which is harder because that's collective consciousness, harder to change than individual consciousness sometimes. So you tuning to Allah and being receptive and knowing that the invocation is not an escape to just relax, but it is more of an asking to embody and translate that into action.
Thank you, Amany. Can I share something about that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I look at the things that are going on in the world and I say, okay, Allah, like what's up? And, there is the saying that says nothing that hits you could miss you, nothing that misses you could have hit you. And, everything is in perfect divine right order, whether it is for, individual or for the collective. And so, there is that. I'll speak from my own perspective. When I see things that I just think, oh my gosh, how? I ask to be shown, like, how does that show me and tell me about the truth that I hold, that Allah puts inside of me for me to hold? Like, what is it that is telling me about what is important to me and what I value? And like that deep inner knowing that connects me with, inshallah, with Allah's qualities in me. And how can I then use that as a way to align myself, attune myself with those qualities so that I can become like a stronger pillar and representative of that quality that Allah puts in me. Like this is when I see this, which looks horrific on the outside. What is it telling me about what is true for me on the inside? And how can I use that to strengthen who Allah has created me to be, inshallah? And I also, when I recognize that, okay, there is a divine plan and Allah creates everything in, as it's supposed to be. And I see something that like, oh, how can that person be this way? How can this person have this harsh qualities? And I go, okay, Allah, I know that you have, I know I have been the harsh qualities at time for other people, which is a little bit painful, probably more painful. And when I see people that are the harsh qualities for me, I have, ya shakur, the gratitude that at least I didn't get that role this time around on planet Earth, like, thank you, Allah, for not making me to be that, because you put this in me. And so, astaghfirullah, I know that probably sounds judgmental, but when I see, the harshness that, and that astaghfirullah, that, does sound judgmental, but sometimes that helps me to grasp or to put things in perspective of what Allah gives us, because, to each Allah gives them the perfect path for them and for their soul. And I'm glad that the path that I have is where it is and not what I see, and that I kind of see in others and judge and abhor, even though I know there's a reflection there. So, how do you want me to use that to learn about what you created me to be? Inshallah.
So, beloveds, there is one other question. Perhaps we can address this question and then we'll bring it to a conclusion for today. The question is there a sacred alignment connected to the Prophet in this sound cosmology?
Yes, because the 28 letters are also related to the phases of the moon and the mansion or the houses of the moon. And obviously, there is each prophet is connected to one of these mansions of the moon. And so they are connected to the sound also, or the vibration that exists in this phase of the moon, or in this house of the moon. There is certain motion there, Earth, moon, other stars. This creates certain vibrations. And actually, if you look at the background of the obvious stars in each house of the moon, they make the Arabic shape, the shape of the Arabic letters. If you connect the so obvious stars, like for example, Aleph, which is the new moon, is like there is two stars obvious. They make like a straight line. That's the Aleph. Similarly with the other letters. So there is connection. Everything is again interconnected, and the more you look, the more you see, and the more you can reflect or during that day, for example, or that mansion of the moon, you can try to reflect on the story of that prophet, in the qualities of that prophet. How can you learn from it and integrate that into your life? So there is a lot. Wherever you look, you will find something to connect you to Allah and to the holy beings that came to enlighten us.
Alhamdulillah. And I just put the link in the chat to that video that I showed of when Amany and I interviewed Eric Winkle, and he talks about the Aleph as it pierces the veil. From Allah sends the Aleph, the intellect, into this realm, and this is the creation of the light of Muhammad, and he says La ilaha illallah, and Allah says Muhammad Rasulullah, or that he says La ilaha illallah, and she says Muhammad Rasulullah, and it's like everything, the light of Muhammad is the first light of the creation. And so that might help as well.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Amany, for a truly beautiful teaching today. And I wonder if one of you would close us with the Fatiha, inshallah.
Mastura, I started with it, so.
Oh, you, Amany? Would you like?
No, I said you end with al-Fatiha because I started with al-Fatiha.
Okay. All right. Alhamdulillah. Amany's Arabic is obviously better than mine, but here we go. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Amen.
Thank you.